Peace, everybody. Now, I haven't made this like scenery in a while and everything like that. So, matter of fact, let me actually move this, leave these people alone and everything like that. Don't want to be in their business and everything like that. All right, so peace, everybody. So, this video right here is going to be a continuation on the all planets through a particular sign series, and with this, we're going to be continuing with Scorpio and everything. So, okay, so Scorpio. So Scorpio is, a fixed water sign. So fixed water, when we talk about the elements, water is dealing with anything dealing with vibrations. Water is dealing with everything emotional-wise and everything. Water is dealing with, soaking in the environment and soaking in people's energy and the intuition that other people are feeling within themselves too at the same time. Now, when you have fixed, solid water, like an ice cube, this is where you can create situations where you may have emotional situations that you may get stuck in. You may get stuck in these little funks and everything like that. Or if it's an emotion that you have a deep desire to continuously feel this emotion, and with you feeling this emotion on a regular basis and on a consistent basis, this is able to have you be in better positions of being able to handle your emotions and everything. That could be a very positive sign of the fixed water element. It's just that over time, you got to learn how to let the energy dissipate on its own. You got to learn how to kind of like melt the ice and, you know what I'm saying, let the ice kind of cool down. You don't want to be, and you don't want to be a sharp ice cube too at the same time. And you also don't want to be a situation where you're a glass of water that's being sat on a container and everything, and that isn't moving and hasn't any interaction or any way of being able to be in their own emotional state naturally, because you're just stuck in one vibration and everything like that. Even though it's fixed water, it still has to move in some way, shape, or form and everything like that. Now, also when we talk about fixed water and everything like that in the Scorpio archetype, we're dealing with the 8th house, which is dealing with everything dealing with, your passions, internal passions, and also when we're dealing with energies of being able to transmutate your own ego and everything like that, because this is your own fixated emotion. So if you're fixated on an emotion, and if you're consistent with this particular emotion, you come into realization and you having your mind on this emotion or having your feeling on this particular emotion that you have, you're going to be able to find out realizations that within that one emotion you may have, and then this one emotion that may be causing you hell, you're able to rise above that energy. That's what the whole energy of the Scorpio going into the eagle, and then eventually going into the phoenix. The scorpion would be just the motion itself. The eagle would be you getting a higher cognitive perspective of your emotion and everything. And then the phoenix is just being able to burn that out of reality and be like, I'm not even going to be attached to this shit no more and everything. We're going to transmutate this shit. Now when we get to all the planets, now the sun through Scorpio. Now when the sun is in Scorpio, this is going to be dealing with you being able to is going to be able to see the actual emotion that you have concealed inside of you, and then it's up to you whether or not you may want to act on it, react to it, or add more weight or put a little more light onto this particular emotion. But you see it; it's not just hidden out of plain sight. This is why people who have Sun in Scorpio are very intuitively cognitive and everything like that, because them being fixated on an emotion, they can see this vibration very clearly. It's solidified, the vibration is solidified enough to where you can see it and everything, and this is how they're able to see things that are behind the scenes. Now with the moon in Scorpio, now the moon naturally is fallen. It's at its fallen state when it's in Scorpio. So what that means is the moon is not really at the strongest point. So the moon is dealing with emotions, comfortability, and emotional reactions to any particular situation. Now the moon in Scorpio, this means that your emotions may not be received well, or you may not know how to actually react to that particular situation at that particular time. You may be into your own feelings that you don't even want to appear vulnerable because you're reacting in defense to something that other people may look at you in a certain way, and this may, take that energy down, and then you may feel exposed in some way, shape, or form with the moon in Scorpio. Now with Mercury in Scorpio, now when you got Mercury in Scorpio, Mercury is dealing with communications, it's dealing with logic, it's dealing with analysis, it's dealing with credentials, it's dealing with research. Anytime you got Mercury in Scorpio or any kind of 8th house energy and everything, these are the things that are consistently on your mind. These are the things that you're consistently communicating about and everything. And you know, when you're talking to somebody and everything, you want to be able to get these things out and everything like that. And then there's also thoughts that you keep to yourself and that are very sacred to you, but you also have this ability to be able to push thoughts that people are hiding within themselves, since Scorpio is dealing with the, you know, the hidden energy and everything. You having Mercury in Scorpio, your antennas are already be able to be pushed out. Your antennas, your energy that you receive, you're able to push that out, and then this person is going to be able to get that feeling of being able to speak whatever is on their mind and everything like that, and you didn't even necessarily say, I want you to say it, I want you to say it. If you don't say this, I'm going to do this, that, and the third. Now, Venus in Scorpio. Now, with Venus in Scorpio, this is Venus is dealing with, you know, relatability. This is dealing with, you know, your value system. This is dealing with the 5 senses. This is dealing with things that are enjoyable on a physical level and on a, you know, pleasurable level and everything. So Venus is also away in Scorpio. This means that Scorpios don't really have time to really appreciate and be relatable to everybody, or even value a lot of things, because they realize that if they expose their own values, if they let their guard down and show their values, they are probably going to be in a situation based upon even just their energy to where, you know, people will probably sabotage their garden in an emotional way, in a physical way, and everything like that. And then at the same time, Venus is weak in Scorpio and everything. So Venus won't even really be able to understand how to really, you know, relate to anything, because, you know, we're in the realm of your own internal emotions and everything like that. And then sometimes, to hell what anybody else feels or anything like that, you got to focus on you at that particular moment. Now, Mars in Scorpio. Now, Mars is already, you know, comfortable, and it's at home in Scorpio and everything. You know, so when you have Mars, which is your willpower and your warlike energy, and also the intent that you put onto things, your intent when you have Mars in Scorpio is to be to yourself and everything like that. Your main intent whenever you're going about in the world is to make sure that your emotions are kept to yourself and everything, because you having this intent and having this passion of keeping emotions secret and everything like that, you're going to be more in a position to where your goals are going to be able to be reached more, because you aren't exposing a lot of your shit that you have going on within yourself to the world and everything like that. And then people won't take this goal and this passion from you and then try to run off and do what they want to do with it and everything. Now, Jupiter in Scorpio. Now, when you have Jupiter in Scorpio, Jupiter is going to be dealing with wisdom, expansion, learning, travels, guru energy, wisdom, knowledge, wisdom, understanding kind of energy. And then, you know, with it being in Scorpio, this is the way that you learn. You learn through life, through trusting your own emotions and everything. You learn through life, and you gain more wisdom and you gain more growth in your life whenever you manipulate the situation at hand and everything like that. You gain more knowledge and you gain more experience and more wisdom when you just keep to, like I said, keep to your own self and everything. The best things, like, or even just not even telling people how you really feel about a situation. So then you appear as someone who's on neutral ground. And then this is the kind of shit that you need to be in whenever, you know, you're in a situation where you have to learn the situation at hand. Sometimes to learn what you're going through and everything, you have to learn how to keep your emotions to yourself. But also throughout time, you may go through life experiencing keeping a lot of secrets, so you don't want to keep that shit built in also. Now, with Saturn in Scorpio. Now, when you have Saturn in Scorpio, Saturn is dealing with reality, with structure, with limits, with boundaries, with, you know, the way that we see the world, government, infrastructure. When this energy is in Scorpio, I'm about to move this shit, actually. About to move this, y'all. Alright, that's better. So, when you have Saturn in Scorpio is going to be dealing with, things that make sense to you is keeping shit to yourself and everything like that. Being to your own emotions and everything. Keeping your emotions to yourself in order for you to reach a particular goal, because other people aren't infiltrated in your life emotionally and everything, which in regard will not correlate, and if you do that, it won't trickle down to people messing up your garden, aka the opposite of Scorpio is Taurus, the second house, your value system. So now with Saturn in Scorpio, this is going to deal more so with, you know, these are the things that you like to make sense and keep structured. Your own secret life and everything like that. The things that you keep secret, you like to make sure that these things are intact. Now, with Uranus in Scorpio, Uranus is actually at its high point. It's exalted in Scorpio. So with Uranus here, you know, Uranus is change and opposition and rebellion and everything. You know, Scorpio is an energy to where, you know, the emotions that it's feeling and everything like that are some of the most unique shit that it's ever experienced in its life, because it's unique to everybody else's emotion and everything like that. So every Scorpio is different in the sense that the way they internalize their emotions and the way that they cope with these internalized emotions play out in all these different energies and everything. This is why maybe weird sex habits kind of arise from the Scorpio archetype, or all these like deep dark things and everything like that, because these are kind of like coping mechanisms with the shit that's going on internally. And then with Uranus in Scorpio, you may just straight up rebel and everything like that. This is probably the archetype of where you see goth kids and everything like that. Gothic kind of energy and everything. You got the energy of the change, rebellion, the opposition, the typical teenage rebellion, and then you have the dark shit with it, the scorpionic energy, the deep, dark, esoteric shit, which is the dark clothes, the shit that people aren't comfortable being around and everything like that. That would be the perfect way to describe that energy. Neptune in Scorpio. Now, Neptune is Scorpio. Neptune is Poseidon, you know, the king of the water, the king of the sea and everything like that. The Pisces energy, the mutable water energy. Pardon me. So now with that being a mutable energy being in a fixed energy, Neptune and Scorpio, the dreams that you're going to be having. You may have a lot of nightmares when you have, this generation may have a lot of nightmares with Neptune and Scorpio. Or in a lot of different ways, the shit, it kind of also plays out to where sometimes the feelings that you have inside yourself are not always the realest feelings, are not always the feelings that you need to be trusted, you know, internally. You know what I'm saying? With Neptune, you need to kind of play out that more Virgo side of Mercury and be able to tap in and try to make sense a little more of these emotions. And, you know, you have to really pierce through the fog, and you have to really pierce through the murky energy of Neptune and Scorpio in order to know whether or not these particular emotions you're feeling are real or not. And not last but not least, but then Pluto and Scorpio. Now this right here, this is a generational energy, and this is just straight up Scorpio energy in a nutshell. You got Pluto, which is transformation, and you got the Scorpio, which is, you know, dealing with secrets and also, you know, the occult and everything like that. So when Pluto's in Scorpio, this generation is a whole generation of where they're going to, you know, experience a lot of change. They're going to experience a lot of transformation and a lot of put into depth situations of their own emotions for the sake of new emotions arising up and everything. This is where you got people who changed the music industry and everything like that. These are people who transformed literally a whole generation for people to be able to create a lane for themselves to be able to, you know, express their own internal emotions. And now you have a lot of people in this industry who are playing out Scorpio energy of being fixated on their own way of feeling and not really playing out these energies like, oh, we're just going to do us and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? So it could play out like that too. Now, finally, the ascendant, when you have a rising sign in Scorpio, the rising, this is your personality. This is, one second. This is your personality and everything like that. This is dealing with energies of, whatchamacallit. This is dealing with energies of, you know, your own personal aura. This is energies dealing with, you know, how you personally react. Not personally react, but personalize things. So you may personalize things in a very, you know, deep way and everything. You may take shit too seriously. You may take things very personal. You may take that fixed water energy, because the first house is also the personality house. You may take that fixed water energy and soak in to the things that you have personally got going on. So you may take a lot of shit seriously. Look at Mike Tyson. He's a Scorpio ascendant. If you look at his old early shit, it looks like he's taking everything seriously and everything like that. You know what I mean? So that's taking that Scorpio energy, that fixed water energy, and then Scorpio is also ruled by Mars, and then the first house is ruled by Mars. So it's kind of like it's like egging the energy on, but it's like two different elements and two different modalities are playing out. It's like you're creating a new way of how to see about these particular emotions that you have, and now the way you may want to express these emotions is different, but it's still the same emotion. And I love y'all, soul group, and I'm gonna catch y'all later. Peace.